Ah man, we still have chills over how fantastic Quicksilver was handled in that WandaVision finale. From the second he put on his headphones and started blaring Dream On as he went into one of the Fox vs. monumental slow-mo scenes to save all the citizens from Westview,
I basically did everything.
Collectively blew our minds. And that post-credit scene where it was revealed that Peter was actually Mephisto the entire time? What? Okay, maybe none of that actually happened and Fietro is just a dude named Ralph Bohner, but some loose ends from the series leads to a pretty crazy theory revolving around Ralph being a double fake-out twist on a twist.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
In terms of the missing person, yeah, there's an answer for that, and, hang in there.
Almost every word of dialogue is set up for future payoff in WandaVision. Every strange moment circled back around in the mystery of Westview, with the exception of Jimmy Woo's missing person case.
Got a witness set up down the road in Westview, and this morning it looked like he flew the coop.
Which we believe had been resolved right under our noses. Now, we all know Jimmy Woo. He may not be the Sorcerer Supreme, but he certainly has some tricks under his sleeve. Through the MCU, Jimmy has been in deep with superhuman projects. He has S.H.I.E.L.D. connections, being a contact of Melinda May, and most recently, Woo was responsible for dealing with the entire Lang and Pym saga in Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's gotten to the point that us regular human problems are below his pay grade. So when the FBI sent out Jimmy for witness protection individual turned missing person, surely some extraordinary stakes were at play here. So who could this mystery man be? Maybe a little quick boy? It stands to reason that Ralph Bohner is the missing person and has been Quicksilver this entire time. So why would Jimmy not just call out Peter when he first appeared on a very special episode? Well, the entire point of witness protection is to preserve one's identity. Jimmy Woo is the best of the best. I mean, sure, he let Ant-Man sneak out from right under his nose, and his witness protection service didn't end up protecting the witness. But nevertheless, his job is to play it coy, especially with nefarious figures like Tyler Hayward snooping around. Speedsters going too fast for their own good, messing with the space-time continuum is nothing new. I mean, The Flash has been running for 7 seasons, and surprise, surprise, Barry is still messing with the timeline. So why not Quicksilver? The X-Men movies had set up Peter Maximoff's powers to be pretty godlike, abilities that the Fast Boy abused regularly. What with the stealing of televisions and breaking into the Pentagon. You know, kind of crazy acts. Through whatever means, Quicksilver could have pierced through the Fox universe and into the Marvel Cinematic, where he had no way home and a need to fit in. Hence why Jimmy would have been assigned with setting the mutant up in witness protection. After all, the man cave we see Ralph set up in is pretty similar to Peter's home when he was first introduced in X-Men Days of Future Past. Now, there is the problem of the documents laying around his loft. These could just be props set up by Agatha to throw off anyone getting a little too nosy. After all, Snooper's gonna snoop. To add some merit to this, when his name is first brought up, even Ralph laughs out loud at his last name.
Boner.
Well, what about Westview just super conveniently being both the origin of the Hex and where Peter resides? Well, one of Wanda's powers is the ability to control probability, so that's explained through lore pretty easily. What happened to Ralph at the end of WandaVision was left open-ended. His gnarly beaded necklace was ripped off by Monica Rambeau, snapping him out of the Fietro persona. But what exactly was ripped away from him in that moment? Does Agatha really have magic so strong to not only take power, but to create objects that emit Avengers-level powers? We've seen several mythical items in MCU past, like the vaulting boots of Altor, which allowed Baron Mordo to double jump. But even that ancient mystical relic isn't nearly as strong as the beads that allowed Ralph to run at the speed of light. It makes more sense that the necklace was the nexus to Agatha's chaos magic to control Ralph, as he would have been harder to control, considering the fact that he moves pretty fast. Speaking of nexuses, there was that one Nexus commercial that was never fully explained in the series. In the movies thus far, the only mentions of the Nexus have been the internet hub in Age of Ultron and a reference to its comic book uses in Thor: The Dark World. What comic use, you ask? Well, the Nexus being the gateway that links every reality, the same type of Nexus Quicksilver may have gotten lost in. Following the series finale, Matt Shakman likened Fietro's ending to the Mandarin twist in Iron Man 3, specifically going on to mention how the real Mandarin is going to be appearing in Shang Chi, and that these silly setup moments do end up having payoff. So where could this possible Ralph double twist occur? Well, we do know that at San Diego Comic-Con 2019, Kevin Feige announced that the X-Men were on their way over to the MCU, and now with recent reports about the X-Men movie The Mutants being in early development, it makes perfect sense to bring the one X-Man we have running around out of witness protection and assuming his true identity where he could have a much larger role. Hey, if all else fails, with Deadpool officially crossing over from the Foxverse, a Ralph cameo is definitely on Ryan Reynolds' mind. Not only does Ralph bear resemblance to his universe's Quicksilver, but he's also a walking dick joke, making it both a meta and juvenile cameo opportunity. Pretty much Deadpool gold.